G'day, I'm Dave Cummins from Future Property Group, and welcome to the Future of Sustainable Development podcast where we explore the ideas shaping tomorrow's built environment. Today, we're exploring the importance of leadership in construction. What is it? Why is it important? And how do we embrace it? When we talk about leadership in construction, most people talk about titles: project manager, project director, site coordinator, site manager, CEO. But leadership in construction is not about hierarchy. It is about responsibility. It is about who is willing to step forward and say we can build better, we can build smarter, and we can build in a way that serves people, communities, and the planet at the same time with respect. Leadership in construction is the ability to influence decisions across design, procurement, delivery, and operation so that outcomes improve over time. It's not just about delivering a project on time and on budget. It is about asking why we are building in the first place, who it serves, and what legacy it leaves behind. Historically, leadership in property development was focused on speed, cost, and scale. After the Second World War, the priority was housing quality, fast delivery, low cost, standardization. That mindset shaped decades of development. It worked for a time, but also locked in a system where environmental impact, human health, and long-term productivity were secondary. Research published in the Journal of Cleaner Production showed that the construction sector is responsible for nearly 39% of global carbon emissions. Around 28% comes from building operations and roughly 11% from materials in the construction process. That statistic alone tells us that leadership in construction is no longer optional, it is essential. Leadership is what shifts the conversation from minimum compliance to maximum impact. It is what turns sustainability from a cost line item into a value driver. Studies published in the World Green Building Council show that buildings designed with strong sustainability leadership can reduce operational energy efficiency by up to 50% and water use by 40%, while also improving occupant well-being and productivity. So what are the benefits of leadership in construction? They are bigger than most people realize. A study in building research and information found that early leadership-driven sustainability decisions can reduce whole of life cycle by up to 20%. Harvard Chan School of Public Health research showed that better indoor air quality improves cognitive function scores by up to 61%. A McKinsey Global Institution reported that productivity in construction could increase by 50 to 60% if innovation and leadership was prioritized. Leadership creates alignment. It brings architecture, engineering, buildings, and clients together around a shared purpose. People like Yvonne Sherindard, the founder of Patagonia, showed us that business can exist to do more than just extract value. John Mackay demonstrated that conscious capitalism delivers better outcomes for all stakeholders. And Jim Collins has taught us that great organizations are built on disciplined people, disciplined thought, and disciplined action. Dale Carnegie reminded us that leadership begins with empathy, trust, and human connection. And Fred Corfin showed us that leadership is about accountability without blame and learning without fear. Despite all this evidence, leadership in construction is still the exception, not the rule. Why do we not embrace leadership in construction more widely? The honest answer is fear. Fear of cost, fear of risk, fear of doing something different. The construction industry is one of the least innovative sectors globally. McKinsey research highlights that construction invests less than 1% of revenue into research and development, compared to more than 4% in manufacturing and technology. There is also resistance to entry. New markets struggle to gain approval. New systems face certification hurdles. New ways of working challenge traditional contracts and power structures. Leadership requires courage, and courage is uncomfortable. Another barrier is short-term thinking. Many developments focus on upfront capital costs rather than long-term value. Yet research from the Journal of Sustainable Real Estate showed that high-performance buildings achieve higher asset values, stronger occupancy rates, and lower operational risk over time. Leadership is what allows teams to zoom out and think long-term. There are, however, powerful examples of leadership construction in both Australia and globally. Internationally, Patagonia founder under Yvonne Sherindard influenced the built environment through values-driven decisions around materials, transparency, and responsibility. In Europe, the Living Building Challenge has produced projects that generate more energy than they consume and actively help restore ecosystems. Research published in Energy and Buildings showed that net positive buildings can achieve energy performance improvements of over 100% compared to conventional stock. In Australia, we're seeing leadership emerge through regenerative developments, carbon neutral precincts, and community-focused housing models. Green Star projects consistently demonstrate low operational costs and higher user satisfaction. CSIRO research confirmed that sustainable buildings in Australia can deliver productivity gains of up to 15% for occupants. So how do we embrace more leadership in construction? It starts with asking better questions. Why this site? Why this material? Why this system? Leadership is curiosity in action. It means integrating sustainability from day one. Studies published in the Journal of Construction Engineering and Management show that decisions made in the first 10% of design lock in 80% of environmental impact. Leadership early saves costs later. It requires education. Leaders investing in learning. They read research. They partner with universities. They test and measure performances. Evidence-based design is not a buzzword. It is how we improve outcomes. Leadership also requires collaboration. Adversal contradicting kills innovation. Integrated teams lock it in. Research from the International Root Journal of Project Management show that collaborative delivery models reduces disputes and improves project performance significantly. So what needs to change to see more leadership in construction? Incentives need to be rewarding long-term performance, not just short-term costs. Planning systems need to support innovation. Procurement models need to value outcomes, not just price. And perhaps most importantly, leaders need to role model the behaviour they want to see. If we build more leadership into construction, the outcomes would be extraordinary. Lower emissions, healthier buildings, more resilient communities, reduced operational costs and stronger local economies. The United Nations Environment Programme highlights that decarbonisation buildings is one of the most cost-effective ways to address climate change challenges globally. The take-home message is simple. Leadership in construction is not about being perfect. It is about being intentional. It is about choosing progress over comfort. It is about understanding that every project is an opportunity to do better than the last. When leaders step up, industries change. When industries change, communities thrive. And when communities thrive, we create a better future for buildings and community. Thanks for tuning in to the future of sustainable development. Join us next time as we cover fresh research, new innovations, and best practices for building smarter, greener, and more resilient buildings. Until then, let's continue to build places that help heal the land and empower communities for tomorrow.